So this video is about the M2 for CCEA on the 24th of May 2018. So for question 1, it said the diagram below shows a kite drawn on a centimetre squared grid. And it says work out the area of the kite. Now there's two ways of doing it. You could either count the squares inside this kite and work out that it's 12 centimetres squared. Or you can multiply the diagonals together. You know, like you diagonal here, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 across. So like it's diagonal 1 times diagonal 2 divided by 2. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4 across, multiplied by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 down, and then divided by 2. So 6 fours are 24, and then when you divide 24 by 2, it becomes 12. So 12 centimetres squared would be the answer for the area of this kite. It says draw a line of symmetry on the kite, so it's just a mirror line you're drawing here, so you can see there's one here going down the way here. So question 2, it says the temperature in some cities is shown in the table below. You've got all the temperatures for Riga, Helsinki, Toronto, Moscow and Stockholm. It says list all the temperatures in ascending order. So -11 would be the coldest. Then you've got -8, -6, -3 and -1. How much warmer is Moscow than Helsinki? So we look at Moscow is -8 and Helsinki is -11. So Helsinki is 3 degrees colder, but also Moscow is 3 degrees warmer. And that's what we've got there. So what is the difference in temperature between Helsinki and Stockholm? So we've got Helsinki is -11 degrees Celsius and Stockholm is -1. So you can see there's 10 degrees of a difference between those two. So for this question it says, what are the coordinates of the midpoint of PQ? Now it was just those two coordinates that were on the question paper, so I've joined a line up between them. And for this particular one, it's just where the middle part of that line is. So it's the coordinates of that. So it's the x is -1 and y is -2. So the coordinates are -1 and 2. So for question 4, it says this pie chart shows energy use by type of fuel. And you can see renewables, electricity, and they're all in percentages here. So this one says which type of fuel is used the most. So if we go down, we can see oil is used the most. It's because it's a bigger chunk in that pie chart. Next one, it says measure the angle for electricity. So you would take your protractor and measure this angle here, which is 64 degrees. Next it says Sean thinks about 3/4 of energy use comes from oil and natural gas. Explain why Sean is correct. So for the answer is you take the oil and look at the oil here, it's 42.0%, which is here. Then we are taking natural gas, which is 34.5%, and we put it there. So 42 plus 34.5% is equal to 76.5%, which is approximately 75%. What that means is 3/4 is 75%. So basically it's quite close to that. So complete the statement below with a suitable number in the box. So we've got fraction renewables over electricity is about 1/3. Okay, so renewables. We look at renewables, it's 5.8. So we put that on top of a fraction. Then electricity is basically 17.7%. Right, so we put that on the bottom of the fraction. So 5.8 is approximately 6, and 17.7 is approximately 18. So if we did 6 over 18, 6 over 18, and then when we cancel that down, that is the equivalent of a third. So this is why we've got a third in this answer here. Complete the statement below with a suitable number in the box. The fraction is about a third. So for question 5, the total population of Great Britain and Ireland is 70 million. So that means all of these boxes here, if you add them up, they should equal 70 million. So it says, what is the population of Wales? So for this one, we're adding all of these ones that we do have here. 54.9, 1.9, 4.6 and 5.5. When added together, we give you 66.9. Now, because all of these together would add up to 70, we've got 70 take away 66.9, and we've got 3.1 as the answer that's missing there. So 3.1 million would be the answer. So Sue thinks the population of Northern Ireland and the Republic of Ireland makes up more than 10% of the total population of Great Britain and Ireland. Do you agree? Explain your answer. So we've added 1.9 plus 4.6. 1.9 comes from the Northern Ireland part, and 4.6 comes from the Republic of Ireland. So that makes 6.5 million for the Northern Ireland and Republic of Ireland. Next, we put that as a percentage. So we do 6.5 out of 70, and then we times it with 100. So this would put it into a percentage here. So we can see that that is a percentage of 9.29%. Now the question is asking for more than 10%, which it's not. And then you can see there it says 9.27 is less than 10%, so the answer is no. So for question 6 is an angle question here. So it says work out the angle, the size of the angle marked X. Now, all the angles around a point is equal to 360. So what we're doing is just taking the 360, take away 75, which is 285 degrees. It says circle the name of the quadrilateral with rotational symmetry of order 2. So rotational symmetry is when from a starting position you spin it round one complete turn, and it's how many times it fits into itself. So in this case, it fits into itself twice in one complete turn, which a parallelogram does. Next one, it says, look at the box below. How many 1 centimetre cubes needed to fill this box? So I've written 4 and 6 and 3. That just means that if you had those 1 centimetre cubes, 4 of those cubes would fit going up this way. 6 of those cubes would fit across the length, and 3 of those cubes would fit going along the width there. So all we're doing is just multiplying 4 times 6 times 3, which means there would be 72 cubes can make this box. So what is the perimeter of the top of the box, top face of the box? So the top face of the box is a rectangle, so we need the length and width of that rectangle, which we can see is 6 and 3. So perimeter is when you add all the sides up here. So that's what I've done. So 6 plus 3 plus 6 plus 3, which give you 18 centimetres for the perimeter of the top face of the box. Question 7 is 7 factory workers and their manager earn these weekly wages. So we've got 7 wages here, and it says what is the median weekly wage? So the first thing that you would do is to put these in ascending order, or put these in order so that you have 245 and 850 at the end. We can cancel these these down. So like we can start with the smallest, biggest, until we get to the middle here. And we find out that 290 and 294 are the middle numbers. Now to get the actual median is we would find halfway between those two numbers, which is 292. Now if you were a bit unsure how to find the middle number, you would just add those two numbers up and divide by 2. So for question B, the manager's weekly wage is increased to 900 from 850. So it's just as if we're scoring this out, 850, and replacing it with 900. Which of these is not affected by the change? And you'll find out that median is not affected by the change because the middle number will stay as 292 as the median there, as the middle number, and the mode will not change because 300 would still be the mode for those set of numbers. For question 8a, I think of a number, multiply it by 3, then add 1. The answer is 28. What is the number? Now, there's a few ways you could do this, but for this one, I've started with 28 and just changed the additions and multiplications. So instead, we're just thinking of opposites on this one. So it's 28 take away 1, which is 27, and then divide by 3, which is 9. And that's the final answer for that one. Question B is similar. We're just thinking of opposites. So when it's divide, we change it to multiplication. When it's add or subtract, we kind of change those signs as well. So for this one is, the answer is 3. I take it and multiply by 4, which is 12, and then add 1, which should be 13. So that's what we've got here. Question 9a, it says, write two prime numbers between 60 and 70. Now, prime numbers are divisible by itself in 1, so they only have 2 factors. What we find out is 61 is a prime number because it only has 1 times 61. No 2 other numbers will multiply to get 61. And it's the same for 67. 1 times 67 is the only factors of 67. No other 2 numbers will multiply to get that number. So which of these is both a square number and a cubed number? Now I've put 64. That's because the square number is basically 8 times 8. 8 squared, and the cubed number is 4 times 4 times 4, which is 4 cubed, which is 64. 3/8 is a decimal, just key into your calculator. 3 divided by 8 is 0.375. So for question D, what percentage is 9 pounds of 16? We can see it's 9 out of 16. So this is how I write it as a fraction, and to change this fraction into a percentage, we just times it by 100, which should be 56.25%.